Welcome to GUSAU Files, your trusted roundup of stories shaping lives and leadership in Zamfara State. From health and empowerment to security and infrastructure, we track the stories that matter straight from the heart of the Northwest. We'll begin with a strong push for maternal rights and child welfare. The wife of the Zamfara State Governor, Dauda Lawal, is calling on the state government to adopt a 6-month paid maternity leave policy for nursing mothers across public and private sectors. She describes it as more than a policy, it is an act of love and an investment in the next generation. This is an advocacy visit to the office of Zamfara State Governor by the State First Lady, Dauda Lawal, and other stakeholders. The First Lady is advocating for 6-month paid maternity leave for all working mothers in both the public and private sectors across the state. Mrs. Lawal noted that several government and companies that have adopted a 6-month maternity leave policy have reported improved employee retention, increased morale, and healthier babies.
Your good heart and your vision, knowing that together we can build a brighter future, granting 6 months of paid maternity leave is an act of love, an investment to our children's collective future. Companies and governments have embraced this policy. Report improved employee retention, increased morale, and healthier babies.
The UNICEF representative, Kulu Sanda, emphasized that advocating for 6 months of paid maternity leave for nursing mothers aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) and United Nations standards, which promote the well-being of both mother and child.
It gives time for bonding. It also promotes exclusive breastfeeding, which improves the immunity of the child, making the child growing up into a very strong and a vibrant being. You're talking about the future of our children. We can't talk about the future of our children without looking at their health. Only the healthy child secures his future. However, UNICEF also aligns with this policy of advocating mothers who have time enough to breastfeed her child, time enough to take the child for routine immunization.
In his response, Governor Dauda Lawal commended the First Lady for her advocacy and assured that the request would be thoroughly deliberated with members of the State Executive Council. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting policies that directly benefit the citizens.
And I'm hearing this for the first time. It's a request. You know, what is working well. So myself and my colleagues here will look into your request and we'll dissect it, digest it, and then come up with a framework on how it is going to be. Whether it is going to be the 6 months, whether it is going to be less, but it's something that we will look into.
The governor also expressed appreciation to the delegation and development partners, including UNICEF, for their continued support and collaboration with the state government. And staying with the efforts focused on long-term well-being, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has flagged off a major agricultural initiative right here in Zamfara. The project is designed to empower youth through farming and increase food security through the Renewed Hope initiative and the launch of Young Farmers Clubs. As part of efforts to stimulate economic independence through agriculture, the Renewed Hope Initiative Agricultural Support Program has been formally launched in Zamfara State. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, was represented at the event by the Zamfara State First Lady, Dauda Lawal. Under the Young Farmers Club component of the initiative, each primary school in Zamfara State has been equipped with a functional school farm. The kits include a solar-powered borehole, water pump machines, wheelbarrows, hoes, and cutlasses, all designed to introduce school children to modern farming techniques.
I encourage all of you to give your full effort to this important work. Farming is just not a job. It is our tradition, our pride, and the foundation of Zamfara State's economy. With the Renewed Hope Initiative and support from Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, we are creating new ways for you to see farming differently. The Young Farmers Club is not just a program, it's a movement to make farming modern, exciting, and rewarding. This project gives you access to the latest farming tools, knowledge, and skills. It's also a chance to share ideas, learn from each other, and grow.
In a related event, over 300 beneficiaries received empowerment support under the Women and Youth in Agriculture program. The scheme targets youth and women with the aim of building a new generation of agripreneurs and boosting self-reliance.
Just yesterday, we concluded the impactful Every Home a Garden program, where 25 women who stood out during the course were empowered with 200,000 naira cash grant each and essential gardening tools. Furthermore, 35 passionate women have been selected to champion this initiative across our communities, creating a ripple effect of growth, food production, and sustainability. This morning, we had the great pleasure of commissioning 160 students from 8 schools across the state into the RHI Young Farmers Club. Each school will now have its own farm site within its premises. To support this, we will be providing solar-powered boreholes, gardening tools, and startup funds for maintenance and growth. These young boys and girls are the future of agriculture in Zamfara State, and we are proud of their commitment.
The Zamfara State Commissioner for Agriculture, Haruna Yeo, commended the First Lady's efforts, noting the program's potential to improve agricultural productivity and drive rural development.
I think in the history of Zamfara State, this is the first time that people benefit from the agricultural sector, which is free of charge. You are aware, where you are witnesses different times or occasions with giving agricultural input, which is free of charge. We give 2023 for the dry season farmers, we give 2023 for the wet season farmers, we give 2024 for the dry season farmers, as we give 2024 for the dry season farmers. Now, the preparing is almost done to start or plug off the distribution of agricultural input and asset, which is free of charge, the same thing in this Zamfara State. You know, Zamfara State, our slogan is farming is our pride. Exactly. We are farmers. Really? That is why His Excellency said I should give the input support to the agricultural farmers, which is free of charge without collecting a single kobo from anybody.
With the Renewed Hope Initiative making its mark in Zamfara, stakeholders are optimistic that these interventions will not only uplift local farmers, but also inspire a new generation of agriculturally minded youths. Still on investment in the people, Governor Dauda Lawal has commissioned a fully renovated general hospital in Anka local government area. This is part of broader reforms marking his second year in office and a commitment to better healthcare services across all 14 local government areas of the state. As the series of events marking the second anniversary of Governor Dauda Lawal's administration continues, the governor visited Anka local government area to commission the newly renovated and fully re-equipped General Hospital. In her welcome address, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nafisa Mardan, noted that the upgraded facility will significantly improve access to health care for residents of Anka and its surrounding communities.
Commissioning of renovated and equipped General Hospital, Anka. I also want to congratulate the residents of Anka local government and my colleagues in health profession and other neighboring communities for having this hospital in its best form and ready for service delivery. Renovating this facility will bring essential medical care closer to home and reduce the need for long journey to seek medical treatment, and this will improve the overall health outcome in the state. So far, about 6 general hospitals have been renovated and equipped. This include General Hospital Maradun, Maru, Kauran Namoda, GUSAU Nasarawa Burkullu, and today we are commissioning General Hospital Anka.
Governor Lawal highlighted key improvements made to the hospital, including the establishment of a fully equipped general outpatient department, accident and emergency unit, and laboratory services, among others.
This clearly demonstrates our government's unwavering commitment to improving the lives of our people and supporting them in enhancing their quality of life and activity. Ladies and gentlemen, this hospital is one of the series of rehabilitation and renovation of various institutions embarked upon by our government in the last 23 months. Our aim is to improve the quality of life of all the people in the state through massive government investment in critical infrastructure. I wish to reiterate our continued commitment to this cause and assure you that we will not relent in our effort to provide our people with the most needed services, including healthcare. To the people of Anka and surrounding communities, this project is a fulfillment of one of our promises to deliver dividend of democracy and improve livelihood of our citizens. We will continue to prioritize development issues, ensuring that our people have access to quality and affordable healthcare, education, agriculture, roads, as well as other critical infrastructures across the state.
After commissioning the facility, the governor toured the premises to inspect the completed renovation works and newly installed medical equipment. The commissioning is one of several projects lined up to commemorate the governor's second year in office. You're watching GUSAU Files, the pulse of Zamfara's development. From health and food systems to structural reform, the stories continue after this break. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's look at how government is combining security and, of course, the Northwest region's development. The United Nations Development Programme and the Northwest Governors Forum are joining forces with Zamfara State to chart a new course for peace and collaboration. A recent visit to Governor Lawal in GUSAU focused on building a framework to address shared regional challenges, aligning with resolutions from last year's Peace Summit in Katsina. The Northwest region has been plagued with several developmental challenges, such as banditry, out-of-school children roaming the streets, youth unemployment, poverty and battered economy, among others. This visit to GUSAU, the Zamfara State capital, by the leadership of the UNDP and the Director General of the Northwest Governors Forum, is part of ongoing efforts to implement resolutions reached at last year's Regional Summit on Peace and Development. The focus of the meeting is to establish a Northwest Peace and Development Forum that will serve as a unifying platform to address the challenges confronting the region.
We're here as a secretariat in support with the UNDP, where we're collaborating to develop the Northwest Peace and Security Development Framework. This was one of the major outcomes of the Northwest Peace and Security Summit that held last year, June 2024 in Katsina State. And so far, we've visited 4 out of the 7 states of the Northwest. We've had this similar engagement in Kaduna State, Jigawa, Sokoto, and Kebbi State, Zamfara being the 5th state so far. So primarily this framework we're trying to develop with the key state actors and the community is meant to be a strategic blueprint that will guide conflict prevention, peace-building efforts and sustainable development across the Northwest region.
Also speaking during the visit, the UNDP team lead, Kadaria Ahmed, highlighted the importance of regional cooperation in achieving long-term stability. She explained that the collaboration seeks to boost economic prosperity, social development and security across the Northwest.
This is a very laudable initiative. You also wanted this framework to serve as an entry point for federal and international actors, including from within the UN system, to support the insecurity and development issues facing the Northwest. Like our DG said, we are very pleased to say that we have started this important work, and Zamfara State is the 5th state that we visited in trying to do this. What we believe is that securing the Northwest, ushering peace, development and prosperity requires trust and partnerships among stakeholders.
In his response, Governor Dauda Lawal commended the initiative and expressed his administration's full support. He described Zamfara as the epicenter of insecurity in the region and emphasized that solving the state's security problems would significantly ease the situation in the entire Northwest.
I'm happy to say that we have this team that are up and about doing whatever is humanly possible to address these challenges we are facing. And I keep saying Zamfara is key to the success of whatever we do here. I made it very clear that all the crisis that is happening in Northwest, Zamfara State happens to be at the center. Now, if we're able to get it right in Zamfara, honestly, 75% of the challenges will be over. So this meeting is critical. It is very important, and we need to give them all the support that they may require in order for them to succeed. Because if they succeed, then we all succeed.
The UNDP-led delegation has so far visited 5 states in the region. In Zamfara, the meeting concluded with a renewed commitment from all parties to sustain the momentum and ensure that the proposed peace and development framework translate into tangible benefits for the people of the Northwest. And in a major economic relief program, over 400,000 vulnerable residents of Zamfara are now part of a cash transfer scheme funded by the World Bank. Debit cards were distributed to beneficiaries across the state, part of efforts to lift households out of extreme poverty. The federal government's Conditional Cash Transfer Scheme is a social protection program supported by the World Bank, targeting poor and vulnerable households with financial assistance to improve their standard of living. Each beneficiary will receive the sum of 75,000 naira facilitated through debit cards linked to individual accounts for ease and transparency.
Today, Your Excellency, as we embark on the distribution and activation of debit cards, we take a bold step towards ensuring financial security, accessibility, empowerment for 279,534 beneficiaries across Zamfara State. This program not only aligns with global best practices, but also reinforces the Zamfara State government's commitment to enforcing sustainable economic growth and poverty alleviation in line with His Excellency's rescue mission.
The State Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs and Relief Matters, Salisu Safe, gave a detailed breakdown of the beneficiary registration and verification process, emphasizing transparency and efficiency.
The debit card you receive today will provide SOCO access to financial transactions, fostering financial inclusion and ensuring timely disbursement of funds directly to you. Your Excellency, I'm pleased to announce you that today that the total number of insurance fed across Zamfara State as at 279,534 categorized as follows. As we commence this battle exercise, Your Excellency, I urge all stakeholders, community facilitators, local government officials, security agencies, and GROs, that is grievances address officers, to work in unity and commitment toward the successful completion of this process.
In his address, Governor Dauda Lawal reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting the most vulnerable members of society. He described the launch as a milestone in his mission to build a more inclusive and prosperous Zamfara.
This is a significant moment and event in our determination to empower the most vulnerable members of our society. It is therefore with a lot of pleasure that I stand before you as we flag up this all-important program. Distinguished personalities and guests, this initiative is designed to provide financial support of 75,000 naira each to 448,141 beneficiaries. As stated by Honorable Commissioner Kainwa earlier, out of the expected number of 279,534 beneficiaries have made a minimum requirement to receive 75,000 naira each. The remaining beneficiaries will be processed and benefit as soon as they are cleared, inshallah, which is going to be very soon.
Highlight of the event was the symbolic presentation and activation of the debit cards, followed by direct cash disbursements to selected beneficiaries. Finally, in the area of peace building, Zamfara is lending strong support to the federal government's Operation Safe Corridor initiative. Governor Lawal says the state remains committed to reintegrating surrendered bandits as part of broader efforts to restore peace in the Northwest.
The visit by the steering committee of the Operation Safe Corridor was led by Nasir Zermai, who briefed Governor Dauda Lawal on the progress made so far and the current status of the initiative in the Northwest. Operation Safe Corridor, established earlier this year, is guided by 5 core objectives: reception, rehabilitation, reintegration, reconciliation, and resettlement of repentant combatants who voluntarily surrender their arms.
Operation Safe Corridor is a program aimed at rehabilitating and reintegrating former combatants, particularly those that are involved in external violence in Nigeria.
The camp commandant of the operations headquarters in Suffolk, Colonel James Anthony, made a passionate appeal to state governments under the initiative to consider providing support for the families of surrendered combatants as part of the reintegration process.
Respectfully, sir, I want to communicate to you the mindset of the National Steering Committee and that of the coordinator, that we should please remind you that in your strategic plans, just like the chairman have said, I just want to re-emphasize that you should factor it in your plans, the care for the families of those who are going to be willing surrendees. So you factor it into your plan, and maybe when you are talking with your fellow governors, that should be taken into consideration also. And
responding, Governor Dauda Lawal expressed strong support for the operation, but made it clear that his administration maintains a firm stance against negotiating with criminal elements. He emphasized that while his government would not enter into dialogue with any armed group, it would welcome those who choose to surrender voluntarily and unconditionally.
I've had several meetings with the NSA, and my position has always been very, very clear that I will not negotiate with any bandit. And I'm still on that, as you rightly mentioned. However, for peace to reign. If any bandit or criminal willingly decided to hand over and step down with the criminality unconditionally, he is always welcome.
They visit the scene as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen collaboration between state governments and the federal initiative to restore lasting peace and security in the northwest region.
And that's it for this edition of GUSAU Files. From the health of mothers and children to peace and empowerment, the stories you've seen today reflect a state working towards recovery and renewal. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.